Hello everyone! In today's lesson, we will be learning about verbs. What is a verb? Verbs are words that represent actions that it can be physical such as run, jump and work. It can also be mental actions such as love, think and consider. It can also be state of being such as the word verb to be, become and exist. In this video, we will be discussing 5 types of verbs which are dynamic verbs, stative verbs, auxiliary verbs, modal verbs as well as phrasal verbs. Okay, dynamic. Dynamic verbs, we have 2 kinds which are physical and mental action. Okay, most verbs which describe a physical action or activity, something external and that can be seen or heard. Example, the word walk, love, swim, play, eat, drink, sing, dance, talk and say. These are physical actions. Physical actions or activity, something external which can be seen or heard. How about mental action? Mental action, actions that take place in our minds and feelings, which are not external. Verbs that describe mental or internal actions. They are still dynamic verbs. These include process verbs which describe actions of transition. Alright, so for the example, the verbs consider, guess, change, grow, live, endure, succeed and fail. Why? Because when you want to consider, why is it called process verb? When you want to consider, you're going to consider with your options. What options do you have? Okay, you consider the best option for yourself. Same for guessing. Okay, you have your prior knowledge, you have your current knowledge. So when you guess, okay, I think this is the best answer. You're guessing using the process and action of transition. Okay, moving on to the second type of verb, which will be stative verbs, or it's known as state of being. Okay, under stative verbs, we have 3 kinds. Okay, the first one will be verbs of the senses. When you say verbs of the senses, such as the word feel, see, hear, smell, taste, notice, seem, and look, you are feeling it. For example, I look forward in attending today's party. So these are verbs of the senses. Okay, it's different from you looking physically. I'm looking at the bird, I'm looking at the bird, I'm looking at the cat. So that is physical, that is dynamic physical action. This one is verb of the senses. I look forward in attending to this party. So that is the first example. Moving on to the second example, verbs of emotions and preferences. Example, love, hate, like, dislike, want, need, prefer and mind. Do you mind borrowing your pen, please? So these are verbs of emotions and preferences. And the third example will be verbs of perception and opinion. I think, believe, know, understand, remember, forget, hope, mean, and imagine. So this is under the category of verbs of perception and opinion. So when you say stative verbs, state of being, there are 3. Okay, verbs of the senses, verbs of emotions and preferences, and verbs of perception and opinion. Okay, moving on to the auxiliary verbs. Okay, auxiliary verbs known as helping verbs. To change another verb tense, voice or mood. Alright, when auxiliary verbs are used, there's always a main verb, alright, that represents the main action. Okay, so in auxiliary verb, we have 3 kinds. We have the word be. Okay, so the example sentence, that piece of sushi was eaten by me. So when you say the verb to be, okay, it's either the word is, are, or was, verb. Okay, was or verb. So the piece of sushi was eaten by me. So verb to be here is was. What is the main verb? The main verb is eaten, but being used, the helping verbs was eaten. Okay, the second example, have. I have eaten sushi many times before. So the word eaten is the main action, the main verb, but is being helped by the word have. Alright, and the third one, which will be do. Did you eat my sushi? Okay, do. Did you eat my sushi? When you say do, the word do or does or did, they are in the same category. So remember that auxiliary verbs, alright, is helping verbs to change another verb's stance, voice or mood. So the first one, the example, the word be, alright, it changes voice. When you say voice, it can be active voice or passive voice. When you say tense, it can be past present or future tense. When you say mood, it can be happy, it can be sad, it can be angry. So these are kinds of moods. So did you eat my sushi? So it can be what? It can be furious, it can be angry, it can be curious. So these are moods. And so you need to remember the auxiliary verbs are helping verbs. Alright, they are not the main verb, but they are just helping verb to change the verb's tenses, voice or mood. Okay, let's move on to modal verbs. Modal verbs are not the main verb as well, alright, but they are added to another verb to show necessity, possibility or capability. So some common examples of modal verbs can be the word can, may, could, should, would, must, ought and might. So look at example number 1. I could swim across the English Channel, but should I do it? Okay, so the word could. I could swim. What is the main verb? The main verb is the verb swim. Okay, but the word could. Alright, could show capability. Alright, it shows capability. I could swim across the English Channel, but should I do it? Should. Alright, is it a necessity? Should I do it? Yes, it's showing necessity. Let's look at the second example. She must be the strongest person on the team and might be the strongest person in the region. She must. The word must here shows up the necessity. Be the strongest person on the team. And might shows a possibility. So modal verbs, alright, they are not the main verb, but they are added to another verb to show 3 things. Either necessity, possibility or capability. Okay, the last one will be phrasal verbs. So phrasal verbs are phrases that act as individual verbs, often combining 2 or more words and changing their meaning. Okay, it means that, alright, they add another word with the verb. Alright, so it means combining 2 or more words. Right, these 2 or more words become one word. Okay, one verb, but it will change their meaning. Okay, for the example, the verb get. Okay, get becomes many different phrasal verbs when combined with different prepositions. Okay, for example, number 1. Alright, when the bus stops, passengers get out on the sidewalk. Okay, get out means step out on the sidewalk. Let's look example number 2. After losing his job, he's getting by on savings. Okay, getting by, he's living on his savings. The main verb here is the word get. Alright, but when they add another preposition with the word get out and get by, alright, it tends to change the meaning. Alright, but get out and get by, alright, they act as their own verb right now. It's not that get as a respective verb and out as a preposition. No, but instead they work together. Get out and get by. Okay, these are examples of phrasal verbs.